My feet, I've been sitting on my feet for a very long time. I can't get up. Oh my gosh, feeling my whole 31 years. Ow. Oh my gosh, what's life going to be like when I'm 50? I was thinking the other day about life and what I want from life in order to be happy. You might have spotted my error already there. One of my goals is to buy a house. At least it has been my goal for the past 5 years while I've been slowly scraping the money together for a deposit. And I got to thinking, if I get this house, then what? What's changed? Then I'll be sitting in a different dwelling, wondering what I need to make me happy. Just having my own house, it's not actually gonna fulfill me. It will be nice, don't get me wrong, I'm keen, but it's not gonna give me contentment. So I thought a bit more, what will do it? And you know what? Every single thing I thought of, I could peel back and say, no, that's not gonna do it either. And then I got to a point where I realized there's nothing I need to be happy. The only thing that will make me happy is to be happy. Now, I don't mean like snap out of it, choose happiness if you're depressed, blah. Some people I know struggle a lot. I think there are things that we can do to help promote happiness within ourselves. For me, those things are things I've said before: journaling, prayer, meditation, getting outside into nature, forming significant connections with other human beings, telling your story and listening to other people's stories, learning, laughing. These things are so important for my happiness, and I don't think I'm the only one. And I don't need anything in order to have those things. So in order for me to be happy, I just need to start taking care of those things that are important to me. In October last year, I was so stressed I hardly recognized myself. I was cantankerous, difficult, snappy. I felt sorry for the people who had to come into contact with me, and I did not know what to do. But I stumbled across the videos of a fabulous Australian YouTuber called Michelle B. And she was talking about getting up early, and I find her so inspiring that if she suggests it, I'm definitely going to give it a try. So I started doing that, and I was meditating every morning and journaling and praying, and it completely changed everything within a week. Within a couple of days, I was already so much more aware about what was going on inside me. I was already back in connection with the me behind the stress, and it changed everything. Thanks, Michelle B. So I think if you're not happy, you can do things to work on that, even if you can't snap right into it. You probably can't. But definitely, these things are self-care. Eating the chocolate bar is not self-care. Having the glass of wine, not self-care. Those things are fun and have fun, but not self-care. Self-care is being a parent to yourself, making sure you do the things that are going to help you to be happy and healthy and wise. But once I discovered that I could be content right now, and by the way, I'm so full of passion and purpose now, but it got me to a point where I realized I don't need anything. I don't even need like big dreams for myself. I don't dream about the house, wealth, big career, success. If there's nothing that I feel driven to strive for because I'm content, if I don't have to live this life for me, what am I going to do with it? I guess that could lead to a bit of nihilism. There's no point to anything. But for me, it hasn't. It's made me feel like I can relax. But what it has opened me up to is the idea that I don't have to live my life for me. I'm learning more and more from the Guilty Feminist podcast and the glorious Deborah Francis-White, thanks for that, about my own privilege as a white middle-class person and what that means, and discovering the disparity between my position and the position of so many people on this glorious planet. I'm in a hugely privileged position just to be able to take the time to do that sort of self-care. I can be content right now in my current circumstances. That's a pretty big deal. There are people in situations so horrendous I can't even imagine them. I realised that there is nothing that I would prefer to be doing than to be making a meaningful contribution to others. Now, I've heard this before, but it's taken me a long time to be at this place internally in order to be able to feel like my tank is full, I'm ready. And so I feel that it's really important to find a way to help people. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm not particularly time rich. I live in a granny flat. I can't even offer a spare room to anyone. The Guilty Feminist podcast has been teaching me to amplify the voices of those around me who have less power than I do. And I looked around, and this is really embarrassing, guys. There's not that many people around me that don't have as much power as I do. Because I look around me and I see lots and lots of people just like me. My crowd is not diverse or intersectional. Not really. I mean, I'm not saying everyone around me is white cis female, but you know, there are people fleeing war zones. There are people starving. There are people being tortured, people who are fighting just for a chance to live a quiet, peaceful life. And so often we prefer not to know. And meanwhile, we're sitting here with all this privilege. I think it's far more important to find our own prejudices. Refugees, immigrants, the poor, people who are different from us, people who are stigmatized, and then to act to try and create a fairer, better world. And it's not just people, it's also other living creatures, like animals. Like the way that so many of them live and die is horrendous. And then there's also the climate, which is pretty crazy at the moment, and I'm pretty worried. The Cold War Treaty that just got abandoned. I mean, things aren't great, guys. Sometimes I don't know what I can do. Sometimes all we can do is just a little bit. But I think it's important to spend our time identifying what we can do and doing it. And you know what? Some of the things that we can do will take effort. We've got to get serious, peeps. Because if not us, then who? To be honest, I'm pretty time poor. I work on average about 56 to 60 hours a week. I'm not paid for all that, but that's how much I work. And then when I have my weekends, which often I don't get all of, like this weekend, I didn't get a day off. So it can be hard to think, how can I help? Because I don't feel able to commit time to anything else. But I have to do something. I commit money, but not everyone can commit money. I sign petitions on Facebook. Writing letters to MPs is probably a pretty good one. We have to get creative. Think of what we can do and then do it. Please give me your ideas of what I can do to be a more effective, helpful human being. Someone who is actively compassionate. I've got some, but I'm sure there are others I have not thought of. I'm not even going to ask you to subscribe or like this video because really, what does it matter? There are more important things. Let's get our acts together. Thanks for watching. Bless.